The NFL on EA Sports, as we see the two teams who fought back in Super Bowl 37. It's gonna be a good one, and it's coming up next.
We're about 20 miles from the Gulf of Mexico at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa, as we bring you the NFL on EA Sports. So good to have you on board with us, Mike Tirico, Greg Olsen here. Greg, you look at the marquee, and it's a lot of offensive stars here. I'm looking at the other side. Defenses better show up here if you want to walk out with a win.
Yeah, I think the burden, of course, lies on the players, particularly the players in the secondaries of both of these teams. They're going to have moments where they've got to win one-on-one, as you said, against some of the top offensive skill players in the league. But I also feel like there's a lot on the shoulders of this defensive coordinator. Can you change up coverages, change up looks, make it difficult pre- and post-snap, not only on these wide receivers and skill players, but also on the guy with the ball in his hand, calling the shots, playing quarterback.
The kicker, Daniel Carlson, has this one teed up. And off we go from Tampa. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. So the Tampa Bay offense set to work for the first time in this one. And they're led by the #1 overall pick back in 2018. Greg, it is Baker Mayfield at quarterback.
If he's going to lead his team to a win, he has to be smart with his decision-making. The last thing you want to do is give the opposing team an extra possession solely because you got reckless with the ball. As long as he is calculated with those risks, I think they have a good chance today coming out on top.
Here's Baker to begin with a pass. Oh, the first play, and he is intercepted. Picked off by Divine Diablo.
So you work all week on your opening script, Mike, and what happens? Well, that opening script is going to have to wait until your second possession. The defense comes out with a big stop early. They get the interception, and now it's the opposing team going out looking to take this early lead.
The Raiders offense set to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback, drafted back in 2019 out of Washington State. It's Gardner Minshew.
In my opinion, Mike, if they expect to leave here today with a win, they're going to have to be aggressive early and often. They might not connect on all of them, but pushing the ball downfield could open up a lot of opportunities for you to take advantage as this game unfolds.
So they come to the line for first down and 10. The first run for Alexander Madison. And he'll get 6 on this one, moving it inside the 40-yard line. They'll come up now for second down and 4. Now it's the veteran, Amir Abdullah. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
This is how you draw up your opening possession when you're on the road. The longer the drive goes, the quieter the crowd gets. Continue to mix in that run game. Let's see if they can finish off by putting this ball in the end zone.
On play action, here's Minshew. Got his man at the 6. And they're going to get this all the way down inside the 5.
Anytime you're facing a zone defense, you're working from your first progression all the way through. But when guys are open in this level, Mike, they don't stay open very long. So what they taught us as receivers, if you're open, stay open. And if you're not open, you better get open quick because that ball is coming out.
A great chance to convert that early turnover into points. Here's first and goal. Throwing is Minshew. And he's going to be swallowed up, taken down, sacked back at the 5.
That first and goal sack now changes everything defensively, Mike. You imagine that you're in a 4-down territory where the offense is going to try to take advantage of the field position. and punch it in over the goal line. Now, can you hold up on 2nd and 3rd down and come away with forcing a field goal, which in this situation, I think is a huge win.
Back to the 5-yard line now. 2nd down and goal. Here's a run with Abdullah. And he'll just get up inside those big bodies up front, and he's in. Amir Abdullah. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking care of business on the ground to get the score. And, Greg, the big guys up front, they deserve some praise on that one.
Absolutely, Mike. And it really only takes one guy to distort the defense and win his block. But in this case, give credit to the entire unit. They did their job, and they reward their offense with a touchdown.
Daniel Carlson on to attempt the extra point. The kick is good. And the Raiders will take a 7-0 lead. Here's Carlson now. He'll kick this one off, following the touchdown on the other end. On the return is Sean Tucker. Now an opening past the 30. Oh, very good field position to start as the return is past the 40. The Buccaneers offense ready to get going with their 2nd possession. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a 1st down. They'll motion a tight end right. Now a run with the rookie out of Oregon, and he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards. Here's a 2nd and 6. Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. That is intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And he is going to score. A pick 6 for the touchdown. We saw it earlier, the defense on the quarterback with the earlier interception. And now, Greg, not only do they pick him, they turn it into a pick 6.
And, Mike, the reality is this has just been a bad first half throwing the football. I mean, not only is it his 2nd interception, but this time the defense gets their hands on the ball, and they're able to take it all the way back for the pick 6.
Carlson now for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Raiders will extend their 1st quarter lead. It's now 14-0. Here's Carlson now. He'll kick this one off, following the touchdown on the other end. Now it's Bucky Irving to return. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs ready to get back to work. They trail by 2 touchdowns, so the time is now. Got to get that rally going. It starts with 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mayfield. This one is caught by Shepard. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
It's so early in the game, you have to be careful now as coaches and players that you don't find yourself trailing early and get out of your game plan. There is so much time left. Stick to what you've worked on all week. There's plenty of time to chip away and see if you can make this thing close come the fourth quarter.
A short one there to Otten. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
The drag route is such a good way to get the ball early into the hands of your tight end and take some pressure off the quarterback and give him an easy completion. The size and the athleticism allows them to try to pick up more yards, but do it after the catch.
Throwing on 2nd down, Mayfield. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a 1st down after a gain of 7. One quarter in the books. It's the Raiders with the early lead. We'll have more from Tampa after this. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. That's over the middle of tight end Otten. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
There's this misconception out there, Mike, that in the NFL you have to run the same amount of run plays as you do pass plays. And as you're seeing in this drive, you can fall on one side of that coin a little bit more as long as you're able to remain effective and efficient. So far, their passing game has dominated here early, and that last pickup leads to a 1st down.
Here's 2nd and 9. Here comes Otten in motion. They go play action with Mayfield. And he's going to slide to a stop and avoid the contact. But since he started there, he's still shy of the 1st down.
Take a look at his eyes. You can see the quarterback clearly going through all of his progressions, and he's quick to realize there's nowhere to go with this ball. He makes the right decision and gets out of there, picks up some good yardage, and gets down on the ground.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Mayfield. He'll look middle, and he's got his man complete. Pickup of 11 yards on that one. Good for a Buccaneers 1st down.
Really nice answer to the previous drive from this quarterback. You want to play at this league and you want to play for a long time, you better have a short-term memory because mistakes are going to happen. Really nice job here bouncing back, putting together a promising drive, and he's open to come away with a touchdown of his own.
Mayfield to throw it here on 1st down. Godwin working the right side. And he's close to another 1st down as he's brought down just shy of the marker. Two minutes remain here in this 1st half. Greg and I back from Tampa after a timeout. He'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. Baker to throw. That is caught to the goal line and in. Touchdown, Tampa. On is Chase McLaughlin for the extra point. It's up and good. And the Buccaneers are on the board. It's now 14-7. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Here comes Amir Abdullah on the return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense ready to come back out for this next possession. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. The shotgun, a throw for Minshew. He's going to run it. And he slides and covers up at the end, avoids the hit, and picked up decent yardage along the way. They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. From the gun, here's Minshew. He'll push this one downfield for Bowers. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
Well, not exactly breaking news here, Mike. They got speed on the perimeter that just not a lot of teams in the NFL have. So even though that ball falls incomplete, I think they have to continue to do it. Continue to pressure this defense and make them defend the entire field. Because as they're worried about him running by them, there is a lot of space open underneath.
And he's going to get there. He got the 1st down, not by a whole lot, but that'll keep this drive rolling.
Mike, I think we make so much of all these fancy routes, right? The selling, the head fakes, getting in and out of the break. And while that's really important to create separation, that's really more of a man beater. That's when teams want to just play you one-on-one and you have to beat the defender.
He's trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not, and be taken down there.
And I like the idea of moving the pocket. It makes it harder for the defense to rush the passer, but you have to account for the end man on the line of scrimmage, and that guy's job is to set an edge. Nobody gets outside of me. In this case, the quarterback. You've got to be better protecting your edges anytime you put your quarterback on the move.
Here's a 2nd and 12. Working out of the gun, it's Minshew. That's caught. It's the tight end, Brock Bowers.
You can see the eyes of the quarterback. He's trying to push this ball initially downfield, but with the defense doing a good job keeping a lid on the coverage, he's forced to check this ball down to the shallow route. But this is something that they know in the future. If I need a couple yards, they can come back to this play.
To the air on 3rd down, it's Minshew. He gets that one complete to his tight end, Bowers. A gain of 17 yards. 1st down, Vegas.
And that's an important conversion, not only because it keeps their offense on the field, and now they can go down and see if they can steal some late points. But either way, worst case scenario, Mike, if you're the offense here, you want to possess the ball going into halftime. Don't give your opponent a chance to go down and score on you. So big pickup there. Now we'll see if they can turn it into some points.
Now timeout Vegas. That is their 2nd. Clock says 25 seconds till halftime. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. Now Minshew. He'll take off again. About 19 yards on that one. And they're in business. It's 1st and goal.
Mike, this is an impressive run, especially considering the fact it was zone coverage. That's a lot of defenders with eyeballs in the backfield focused on the quarterback. So to be able to escape the pocket and pick up good yardage, really good play.
To throw, Minshew. That's caught by Abdullah. And he will get into the end zone. Amir Abdullah. Touchdown, Las Vegas. That's his second touchdown so far here in the first half.
You know, we spent so much time talking about the heroics of a game-winning drive to end in the fourth quarter in 2-minute mode. But let's talk about a 2-minute mode, Mike, at the end of the first half. It might not be in walk-off fashion, but I'll tell you what, executing that here going into halftime changes this entire game.
Now Carlson to add the extra point. He's got it. And the Raiders will take a 21-7 lead. They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. This one is fielded in the end zone, but he will not bring it out. It's a touchback, and this drive will begin at the 30-yard line. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll get 2 on this one before being taken down. Second down and 8. Mayfield. That's going to wind up incomplete. Not much time remaining. Time for one more snap here in this first half.
It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, their quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate.
Now Mayfield. Going up top. That's going to be incomplete. They took a shot on the final play. Prayer not answered. And that is how this first half will come to an end.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. And welcome in everyone to our halftime report. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break. But I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much. We welcome you back. It is quarter number 3. Pretty interesting first half. We'll see if any strategy changes for the next 30 minutes or more as this second half gets underway. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. The Raiders offense ready to get going again. They'll have it first in this third quarter. The lead is a couple of touchdowns as this drive kicks off 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground, and here's Madison. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
Depending on the situation or the down and distance, Mike, the linebackers have different reads. Sometimes they read the offensive lineman. Sometimes they read the running back. In this case, his read brings him right to the play. He's able to make a big stop and keep the game to nothing.
On the ground, Abdullah. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard, but that's it. Third down and 9. Off the play fake, it's Minshew. The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front because right now, their pass protection is breaking down, and this quarterback's paying the price for it.
On fourth down, A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. And back deep, it is Trey Palmer. And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. The Buccaneers offense trotting back out for their first involvement of this second half. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. A pass pulled in by Irving. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play, and it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest, and that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it.
On 2nd down, Baker. That is taken in by the veteran, Mike Evans. Just his first catch. They have held him in check so far, but that one gives him a 1st down.
These curl routes, he's been running these routes since he was a young kid in Pop Warner football, and I like to call it pulling the string. You've got the defender thinking you're going downfield, and you stick that foot in the ground, work back to the quarterback, friendly to the ball, and really nice job picking up the 1st down.
And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
What an advantage it brings a defense when you have cornerbacks that are such willing tacklers. It just brings an extra element to the ability to defend the entire field, and this is a great example here why.
Here's 2nd and 6. On play action, Mayfield. Oh, they are on him in a flash, and he's lost the football. One of the Raiders has got it. And there it is. The defense comes up with the big play, forcing the fumble as they get their offense right back on the field. Coming up, Greg, with a big turnover.
Taking the ball away, Mike, has really become an art form in the NFL. Some teams are good at it, some teams not so much. But in this case, great job by the defense taking that one away.
The Raiders offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. They'll do so with 1st and 10. The drive starts with a run by Madison. And some space opens as he's brought down following a gain of 6. So, 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. On the handoff, it's Madison. And this is going to be a Raiders first down. Good running. Gets him to about the 44.
I think this 2nd down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
Again, it's Madison. He'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
So often when it comes to safeties, Mike, we talk about their speed and their range. But for him to be able to come up and make a tackle and be physical at the point of attack and keep this ball carrier to no gain, that's pretty impressive.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Here's Abdullah. Maybe a couple there. It's 3rd down. Minshew. He's got a man. That's Myers. It'll be a pickup of 10. Good for a Raider first down.
That might end up being the backbreaker right now. This defense desperately needed to get off the field and give their offense a chance to cut into this 2-score lead. But instead, they now got to defend a fresh set of downs. And as you look up at this clock, they might be running out of time.
On first down, a run with Madison. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
2-possession lead, 4th quarter. This is the time, Mike, when you really can rely heavily on your run game. Everybody in the stadium knows you're going to run it, including the defense. They just can't come up with an answer to stopping it.
2 minutes remain in the 4th quarter. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. They'll stick with Madison. Not much happening there, just a short gain. And we'll see a timeout used by the defense, stopping it right out of the break. 1:57 to go in the game. Here's a 2nd and 9. Straight ahead, here's Madison. Whistles here, we have another stoppage. Timeout called by the defense with 1:53 remaining. You've got to consider this an absolute must-stop defensively. It's 3rd down. They'll run up the middle. It's Madison. And now we get a timeout by the defense. So the clock stops with 1:50 left in the game. On 4th down, on comes Daniel Carlson for the Raiders field goal. This a 44-yard attempt. Carlson's kick is good. And the Raiders have run out to a 24-7 lead.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
Back out is Carlson following the made field goal. And he sends this kickoff away. Irving now on the return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense and Baker Mayfield ready for their next possession. And this defense has really had their way so far, intercepting him twice, forced into a number of bad throws, and generally the D has just made it tough to operate all game long. Set to go now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mayfield. That'll be batted down. Chris Godwin, the receiver he was looking for. It's 2nd down.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
Over the middle, that's Godwin. They'll mark him down up at the 44-yard line.
It's been tough sledding for this offense all day today, Mike, but especially here in the second half. So they are just in desperate need of a spark, just something to get their offense into a little bit of a rhythm if they want to have any chance to find themselves back into this game here late.
Fine work defensively. That's going to be knocked away and go down as an incompletion.
He does a fantastic job, Mike, of not only locating the ball in the air, but then attacking it hands on hands. That's exactly something they work on every week in practice. Great job translating those drills into a live game.
Throwing on 2nd down, Mayfield. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
This is why it's so critical that the quarterback and his intended target are on the same page. They got to speak the same language. When there's miscommunication, it leads to errant throws, and when errant throws lead to big missed opportunities.
Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. That's deep for the back of the end zone. That is incomplete. And here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's 4th down.
I'm not going to sit here, Mike, and throw the guy a parade for ultimately what was an incompletion, but can we just take a second to appreciate the arm strength he was able to show there? I mean, I think that ball's over 60 yards in the air, and I would be surprised if they continue to just air it out and see if they can complete one of those.
And that is not going to work. Incomplete, and they turn it over on downs.
You find yourself down big. It's the 4th quarter. There's really no choice but to go for this at this point. But once again, this defense, they're up to the task, and they come through yet again with a huge stop.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long, everyone.